Good evening, Drew.
Hello, Paul.
How you doing?
Good man. I just got back from Butch Bando's Festival of Lights.
Oh, it is that time of year.
It is that time of year, and this was a thing where we got to stay in our cars and drive through a bunch of Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Well, while listening to Christmas music. Have you ever been?
I haven't been to that particular one, but I've done similar things in the past, yes.
Yeah, and it's funny because we had to drive past the Columbus Zoo to get there. And the Columbus Zoo does the zoo lights thing, and there was just a ton of traffic, a bunch of accidents, and like we got to this place and we paid our money, and that was that, and it was like nice, and like I didn't have to deal with a ton of people because I was in my car
Right, right.
with the
Yep.
people I like, and I didn't have to be around anybody. Oh, how was Zach's band thing?
It was good. They had a nice little award ceremony to kind of cap off the end of the marching band season, and it was good. It was nice. It was nice. Yeah.
And he'll be back next year, I take it.
Oh yeah, back
Yeah, he's
next year.
he's in. He's in.
He's in.
All right, cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna dive right in here because I
Okay.
desperately need your help.
Okay.
I don't know why this started happening, but I
Okay.
I was back at work this week, as one is after an extended little Thanksgiving holiday break,
Yep.
and I notice now that when I join my Teams calls and I open up my AirPods case, Apple Music just decides to start launching.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Anytime,
Oh.
anytime, anytime I like connect my AirPods, Apple Music's like, "Hey, you must want to listen to music." And
Oh
I
no.
yeah, and I've looked for solutions to this problem, and every solution apparently is really old and doesn't apply because I don't have those menu options, or I don't have those P lists that all the guides say that I should have. So this doesn't happen to you?
No, 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 not at all.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, no. No.
Okay. Well, help me understand something though, because this really led me down an interesting path. But so,
Oh.
what exactly is a plist file for people like me who don't know?
Uh, P list is kind of like Apple's version. It stands for P. The P stands for property. Uh, I would consider it to be Mac OS's version of a configuration file. Uh, it's actually a form. I think in the implementation is actually XML under the covers.
Okay.
Uh, and it's one of the like it works really well with their all of their foundation frameworks and stuff like that. So yeah. So essentially, if your application wants to store some properties or any little bit of data in an easy way, it's very easy to turn that into a plist file and then read that from the code. So yeah, that's what a plist file is. It's a bit of like it's a if you're into programming and know about like serialization, where you take something in memory and write it to disk. It's a
Mhm.
serializable format for
Got it.
yeah.
Well, this didn't happen a week ago, right?
Huh.
And what I did is when I was ready to go on Thanksgiving vacation break, like I did all my system updates, I did everything I needed to do, and then I shut down. And I noticed that like, I didn't notice it at first. Like, I think I joined a Teams meeting and like I walked away from my computer, and when I came back, Apple Music was on, and I was like, huh, maybe there was something new on Apple Music because now I have a HomePod Mini that it wants to tell me about. But nope, this just happens every time I connect my AirPods now. And I have no idea why.
No, that does not happen to me at all.
Well, you have your AirPods and you have your
Uh-huh.
AirPods Max. Do you
Uh-huh.
connect those to other things other than your Mac?
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you flip back and forth and that doesn't happen.
Nope. 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 Does not happen at all.
Huh. All right. Well, I'll have to keep investigating, but I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell's going on there.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, and like I looked everywhere and they're like, just set a restriction for Apple Music. Well, number one, I don't even have that menu preference choice in
Huh.
Apple Music. I looked for all the supposed plist files that are supposed to exist for this reason, and those aren't there. So I don't know how this is happening or how to prevent it.
Huh.
So, and I need to try it with my Sony headphones too to see if it does it. But that's anyway, that's something new that started happening, and I thought maybe you'd have an answer, but you didn't. So now I'm sad.
I don't have an answer. No. And I'm sorry because Apple Music is not a good application.
No, it's really not. There's nothing in it I want to listen to ever right now. But we'll talk more. We're gonna talk more about that later. I want to talk about a video game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about Deathloop. Have you played it?
I certainly tried.
Oh, okay. Because I have nothing but praise for this game after playing it.
Oh, I bounced off this game hard.
Okay, all right.
I wanted to like it so much.
Okay,
I did not.
How much of it did you play?
I've probably got like 6 hours in.
Ooh, okay.
And the last 4 were really, really forced because everyone said it gets really good when it opens up. I was like, no, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Well, that's literally what I was here to say, right? I bought this game. I bought the game Deathloop when it was on sale on the Steam Autumn sale. Because I didn't buy it when it was new. In fact, when did that come out? Did that come out it came out in the spring, didn't it?
Don't.
Oh no, last year. It's been out for a whole damn year. Oh no, wait, September.
Yeah.
Of
a
this
few
year.
Months. Yeah, this
yeah,
month.
It's been out a few months.
Yes.
That was shortly after I moved, and I didn't have time. But yeah, it came out, and it when I saw all the advertisements for it, I felt like it had really big Dishonored energy, and I loved the Dishonored games.
Same developer.
Yeah, same developer.
Yep.
All the screenshots that I saw, it looked like you had these cool powers that were very reminiscent.
If it helps, I also bounced hard off Dishonored.
Oh,
and
man.
Prey.
I didn't play Prey.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I didn't play Prey. Holy cow. Yeah. A lot of peas in this episode. Yeah, so, man, that's really disappointing because I actually finished it earlier this week, and I really liked it. I did not like it at first. Because I'm okay when games drop you into a scennario without explaining and letting you sort of, explore the story yourself. But they really put you on rails for the first couple hours about what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
But then once you start to explore the world and you sort of learn how to manipulate time, because that's really what this game is about, is sort of like a time looping mechanic, a very Groundhog Day-ish. It got really, really, really freaking good. Now, for those of you that haven't played it, the general gist is you're a guy, his name's Colt, and you keep reliving the same day, and in order to not do that, in one day, you need to kill 7 specific people. But all of these people are not in the same place at the same time. So what you do is, through 4 distinct time periods of the same day, morning, noon, afternoon, and evening, you visit different locations of this really weird island that has some sort of time anomaly associated with it, because of course it does. You need to visit these locations, sort of figure out the most efficient way to kill these 7 individuals, and then, and only then, if you do that, you can break the loop and the game is over. And the game has multiple endings, as I found out, and I've gotten them all 3 of them, by the way. There's not just 2, there's 3. And I really enjoyed it. And I'll tell you the exact moment that I sort of fell in love with this game, and the writing and the quirkiness and the voice acting.
Okay, all right. You just said 2 things that I hated. Okay, anyway,
really?
Go ahead. Oh, I found the voice acting to be... That was honestly the hardest thing for me to get through in the beginning, besides the fact that it's not fun for at all for 4 hours. It was the voice acting. I did not like any of it.
Well, Colt, the character you play, says the F word a lot.
I don't have any problem with swearing. So, but
yeah,
I just found that it was the writing. I think the writing was.
some of the people you need to kill are way funnier than the others, and they're all parodies of some personality type. And I found some of them to be really entertainingly funny. But I don't know. And I thought the person who played Juliana did a really good job too. Because Juliana, that's the other interesting twist about this game, is that while you are trying to do this, there's a character called Juliana who is trying to stop you from doing this. And she tries to do that by killing you every day. But then you wake back up and you repeat. But what's really interesting about it is the Juliana character can basically be an invader who is like one of your friends or just some rando from the internet that joins your session and tries to kill you. If you kill them, there are rewards for doing that. And there are also rewards for being Juliana and going into other people's games. I never did that. And after like the second time somebody cheesed my death, I switched that to friends only, and it wasn't a problem anymore. because if somebody joins your game and they have like cool trinkets or cool slabs or which are like the powers that you get, it's not a good time. It's not a good time. So I turned that off, and I had a much more.
That seemed, for a game that's so focused on, like accomplishing things, because it has that roguelike element where like you're constantly replaying the same thing over, or the same parts over and over again, which is also, just generally speaking, I don't like that. Like that's probably the thing that made me bounce off the most. I don't like that style of gameplay. Like I didn't like Hades.
Wow.
So like those style of games and me just do not mix. That whole like I see the same things over and over again. Like it's
okay. Well, hold on a second.
But when you're so focused on like, it's like you have a goal for your run, what you want to do on that given day. The fact that like randos coming into your game to ruin it seemed to me like a very poor design decision. It's like some executive goes, "We have to have multiplayer."
Yeah,
and they're like, "Well, you understand the concept of the game, right?" And they're like, "Multiplayer."
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, that's what the kids want.
Yeah.
Can we have kids build forts in this game too? No, it's like, well, okay. So here's the thing. Here's the issue that I take with your statement. I don't consider this game a roguelike because literally the same enemies are in the same place every day. Okay, so it's not.
So to me that makes it worse.
Well, no, because what I sort of learned about this game is that it's secretly a puzzle game, right? Like you sort of have to figure out how to either manipulate the loop or manipulate the people you're trying to kill to being in the right place at the right time. And you do that through learning about the powers that you can get, and you do that by sort of investigating and sort of, reading about their schedules and what they're doing and sort of setting up the ultimate finale. Because like all the work you do, right, without spoiling anything too much, is that with the 4 places you get to visit at the start of the game, it is impossible, at least unless there's some like spoiler out there that I don't know about, to accomplish the game without first spending time investing by like doing things that do persist throughout the loop. Because there, like the laws of the universe that you play in, there are certain things that persist through loops and things that do not. And you will find a way to make things persist through the loop that will influence what the people you're trying to kill, they're called visionaries, so that they end up in the right place. And in order for this crescendo to happen, you have to visit places multiple times. You have to visit them in a certain order or visit them across multiple days and set up this grand finale. And when the stage is finally set for the grand finale, it's really good. The sense of accomplishment was there for me. And the moment that I fell in love with the game, right, to sort of go back to that for a minute, I was playing the game, and I think I was visiting one location called Updom in the afternoon, and there was a note attached to a generator. And it was an angry note, and it said, "Hey, somebody this morning sabotaged my generator. I don't like that. I'm trying to do an important experiment. Please don't do that." And I thought, I wonder what will happen if I go there in the morning, prevent this from happening, and then revisit it later in the day. So I did that, and I went to the generator, and sure enough, there's somebody who is obviously drunk walking around this generator, so I killed him. Later in the day, I come back, and it doesn't look like anything has changed. But then I came back in the evening to do something else, and the experiment was complete. And what the experiment was a sign that had a bunch of letters that just said poop. So I was like, all right, that was an important experiment. And it's just little stuff like that made me like, okay, this game's pretty good. There's a lot of mechanics in the game that they probably shouldn't have done. I think the whole multiplayer thing is the big one. But then like there's this weird quality to the game where with the weapons you get, like they have like a rarity factor, and in the early game they can jam, which is it's just stupid. I hate that, and it becomes a non-issue like your third trip through the loop, because by then you've gotten like really good guns, and then you just start upgrading them, and it's whatever. It's something that only matters for like the first hour and a half of the game, and then it's not an issue anymore. Um, there's really no penalty for just killing everybody in a level. I mean, there are achievements you can get for not being spotted as you're sneaking through a level, which, thinking about Dishonored in the game, that this makes me like really reminded of is the fact that in Dishonored, like, you really didn't want to fight because sometimes all you had was a knife or a crossbow, and combat was not something you wanted to get in on, which made me really think about a game that I felt that was based on, which was Thief. And I don't know if you played any of the original Thief games.
I also did not like Thief.
Okay, Thief was hit or miss.
Yeah.
The first Thief game was good till about the fourth level when the zombies showed up, and then I was like, I'm out. But Thief 2 was really good, and the remaster of Thief that they did is also pretty decent. But anyway, Dishonored was really good, and I really enjoyed Deathloop. Like I said, I did finish it. I did sort of break the loop, and then I didn't break the loop to see what happened. And you learn about who Juliana is and why she's there and why she's trying to stop you from doing it. And I did a couple like little side questy things to, just explore the island a little bit more, and I really enjoyed it. It makes me sad that you didn't like it.
It's not. So just put it in perspective. You know how much I dislike Cyberpunk 2077. I finished that game. I did not finish this game. I get like there are people that absolutely love this game. I wanted to like this game because I figure like strong story, like you said, it's more of a puzzle element than a roguelike. I just like the hours I put in were forced.
Well,
I really. And can I just say this whole notion of like, if you're going to make a good video game, make it good from the beginning, because this game is not good until it lets you off the rails.
Yeah, I like 100% agree
at
with
all.
You. 100% agree with you. Once you get to the point of that first couple hours, and I think it's probably roughly about 2 hours in when you finally get the key components that let you keep things between your deaths. That's when the game really opens
when they
up.
Finally open it up and you can plan where you're going to go for each part of the day.
Yeah.
Up until that point, it's really you're playing an overly drawn out tutorial, and you just have to get through it. But it's not. I don't mean it's.
Yeah,
I didn't like the part after that either, but it was better than the tutorial part. I
was, when it first came out, I didn't buy it just because I read some of the reviews, and they were actually kind of lukewarm. And after reading about what the game was going to be and who was making it, that was really disappointing. So I didn't buy it full price, but it was roughly 40-ish% off on the sale. And I'm like, I want to give it a go. And like you, that for those first couple hours where they really make you do the same thing painstakingly until they let you off the chain and you can go do your thing. Yeah, I was pretty close to refunding it, but I'm really glad that I stuck with it, because the story did suck me in, and trying to find the most efficient way through levels and uncovering the way that you set everybody up to die, and then some of the other little humor that you find. I don't know. I really liked it. I'm sorry you didn't like it, but what are you gonna do?
I really, really wanted to, because so I come from a PS5 side, and the reviews on the PS5 side were gushing, absolutely gushing. There was no, this is a mediocre game. It was more like, no, this is like game of the year contender, right? It was very like everybody loved it. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. It does use the PS5 like DualSense features, kind of interesting.
How did it use them?
Oh, because you're like the jams that you were talking about. You can feel them.
Oh,
like the controller. It's hard to explain, but like as you're shooting, the guns feel on your fingers good, and you can feel the jam, and then you immediately just go, I'll get rid of the jam, and then you're good. It was a very It's probably a mechanic that I can imagine if you didn't have that was probably really annoying. Not that I think about it, because to me, like the whole gun jamming was all like 100% was about the fact that they could do something interesting with the DualSense
Well,
feedback trigger.
okay, but along those lines, did you get any of the slab powers?
Yeah, yeah.
Did they do anything with those? With the DualSense?
I mean, they all felt kind of different. Uh, mm, meh, maybe. It's hard to remember.
Because that to me that seems like a slam dunk, right? Because like one thing that I had trouble with being on a keyboard and mouse is there is a power that basically lets you teleport. And I think it would have been cool, like from a PS5 perspective, if you were targeting the area you wanted to teleport to, it would feel different whether or not you were going to land on solid ground or not.
Oh,
because
no.
because I teleported myself right off some cliffs by accident. So
No, nothing like that. No.
that would have been I think that would be neat. All right, well, enough talking about Deathloop. But sort of keeping in the spirit of video games, I'm kind of back into VR.
Okay.
Um,
So what hardware do you have? What are you playing?
The only hardware I have right now is I have a like original Oculus. I had I had a CV2, which was the dev kit, but I have like the original Oculus Rift, and I did have a Vive, which I sold a couple years ago. Because like I got VR and I played a bunch of Elite, and then it just like kind of sat there because I didn't really have room for it. And now that I have more room, I've been wanting to hook it back up. And again, thanks to the Steam Autumn Sale, I picked up a bunch of games that I wanted to play. The games that I'm playing right now is I'm playing the crap out of a game called Boneworks. It is a sandboxy game that does have a story. They classify it as like a physics sandbox because there are puzzles like that you have to do, and it's one of those games where if you're new to VR, it could be very disorienting because you can technically play this game sitting down, and you use the thumbstick to sort of run around in VR, and when the VR shows you moving and your body isn't moving, that's extremely disorienting. And once you kind of get over that, it's fine. But I've been playing a lot of Boneworks, and what's neat about that game is there are several types of sandboxes. There's like a zombie survival wave one. There is like a shooting range one. There is other like puzzle things where you have to like climb. I have to like free climbing up stuff. And you can explore like this museum, and it walks you through the tutorial. It's very good. It's very good. I've also playing a lot of a game called Robo Recall, which is old as hell, but it's really fun. Where you could basically just throw robots around. You can grab the handles on the robots and use them as shields, or throw them at other robots to kill them. And it is like a survival wave thing where you're timed in how many waves, where you have to kill a certain amount of robots in a certain amount of time. And the space in my office is pretty decent for this particular use case. Anyway, I'm sort of back into it. I like that I have room where I can actually play this right now. I've also played a little bit of a game called Contractors, which is actually a multiplayer VR game. It's a shooter game.
You're in the metaverse.
Yeah, it is. It is the first time I've ever played a multiplayer game in VR, and it is a shooter man game. But it's kind of neat because you can like just post up on a little corner and just like peek and shoot and peek and shoot. It reminds me a lot of like when I was younger, we used to play Army, right? Like you would like get guns and run around the neighborhood, and that was back in a time where people wouldn't call the cops if you were on their property with a fake gun, and we would run around the neighborhood and pretend to kill each other. It reminds me of that very much. It's pretty neat. I don't know. It's weird to me that it took me this long to get back into it because I think VR is pretty cool, but it's just kind of such a pain in the ass to get set up and get into.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You need one of those fancy wireless rigs.
Oh man, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. Well, you had PlayStation VR though, right?
Yes.
Whatever happened to that?
Me and VR don't mix well. I am good for about 10 minutes before my body starts violently panicking, and my heart starts racing, and I start like sweating in a way that is not healthy. Yeah, my body just rejects it completely.
Oh, bummer. Well, I've heard of that, and kind of like I said, the games where you're standing still and it feels like you're moving, where you're not teleporting, where it's constant movement, it used to make me pretty bad motion sick.
Yeah, like, and it's not nausea. Like, I don't get motion sick. It's not that.
Okay,
It's not that feeling. It's not stomach. It is literally like cardiovascular. Like my heart, like my heart will start racing, and I will just sweat through my clothes and it's weird because like for 10 minutes, like absolutely fine. So it's just long enough to get into something and like, play around and do the stuff, and then my body's just like, nope, out. Like it just goes into a fight and flight thing, and it's all flight. My body must make myself super slippery for the predators that are coming to get me.
For the digital predators that are about to crawl through the VR.
Yeah. We have a friend who has the new Oculus, the Facebooky one, and the same thing happens. Same thing, and granted, like those are like compared to the PlayStation VR, it's much like the screens are better. Like everything about them is better, but it's still like 10 minutes just body panic.
Yeah, well, Oculus apparently only makes one headset now, and that is the Quest 2.
The Quest 2, that's right, yeah.
Which is... I don't think that hooks up to a computer anymore. It's freestanding, right?
I think you can do both.
I don't honestly know. Oculus Link cable. Access your Rift library with your Quest 2. Oh, yeah, USB Type-C connects your headset to a compatible gaming computer.
Yeah, I think it's designed for both.
So you can get the Quest 2. Let's see. I'm just looking at it right now. The 256 gig built in, which I wouldn't need. Elite strap with battery. What is strap with battery? What is this? Add playtime with a built-in battery. Oh, you bore a battery on the back of your head.
I'm sure that feels real good.
Well, so wait a minute. If you hook it up to your computer, does the cable power it? I'm very confused. See, and again,
I don't know. Yeah.
And see, this is me being a dummy because I don't know anymore. The Oculus Link cable and software unlocks the power of your PC to add stunning graphics and heart-pounding gameplay to your VR experiences. Getting started. Use the Oculus. You'll need an Oculus Quest or Quest 2. The Oculus Link is a blazing fast fiber optic cable.
The Link cable is $80.
It's $80 for a USB-C cable. That's what it is, right? That's all it is. It's 16 feet.
Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, so it's long. Okay,
it's a long boy.
It's a long boy.
It's a long boy. That's 16 feet. The lightweight, flexible cable connects Oculus Quest to a compatible gaming PC. High throughput, fiber optic core. Okay. 16 feet, dual function.
Oh, blistering fast data speeds while powering your device at the same time. There it is.
Okay, so I don't have to invest in a battery. So I could buy a Quest 2. I wonder if it's better than my current headset, though. Has to be, right?
Well, yeah, you also have the option of playing a good chunk of the library wirelessly. So,
yeah, but see, okay, so here's the thing. I don't have, most of my games are in Steam. Okay. Most of my games that I play VR are in Steam.
Right. Okay. So you'd have to buy the games through, I'm sure, Oculus's.
Yeah, they have their own store.
Meta's. It's the Meta Quest now.
Mm-hmm.
So you see that they changed that.
What's included? VR headset, 2 touch controllers, charging cable, 2 AA batteries, power adapter, glasses spacer. Buy now, $299. I think Target also sells these, don't they? I just wonder if Target has any in stock. Oculus. Quest 2.
I was accidentally at a Best Buy last week, right before Black Friday, and they had hundreds of them. Hundreds.
Really?
Hundreds. They had them in 2 giant piles, the smaller version and the bigger version, and
Columbus Northeast. which I think that is not the one near me. Central Columbus limited stock, New Albany, Grove City. Grove City has them. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're gettable. Unlike other things that I'm trying to buy for people for Christmas, but okay, so I could man. Okay. Well, and plus it comes in white, which I kind of like.
White. Yeah.
White.
I mean,
White.
yeah, like the hardware's like it's nice. It
What
fits well.
I wonder what it
yeah.
I wonder what it like what resolution it is.
Oh,
And what I have. A closer look, next level hardware,
sure
1832 by 1920. Probably better sound than I have. Controls, processor. Hmm. Hmm. And then I wonder if I can get that stupid cable. Like, do you think places sell that cable, or do I need to get that directly from these idiots?
I don't know.
Let's see. While we're here, this is good radio.
There's always a portion of the show where it's us looking on things on the internet.
We're always yeah. We should just call this the Drew and Paul Google section, because this is what we do, right? Oculus Link cable. Let me go to Target. So Oculus Link cable. Okay, so it shows up in their search. In stock at POW. Okay, so apparently these are sold in stores too. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I could get all of this at a store. I wouldn't have to like get it shipped to me if I was in the market, which I'm not. I don't play it enough to want to completely do that.
Episode 126. How is Drew's Oculus?
Don't even tease me. Don't even tease me. Replacement kit. I'm just looking at all the different things.
And there's a good like not. I know this from the friend. Apparently, there's like a big like if you don't like how it fits there, since it's the Oculus and it's kind of the if you're thinking about getting VR, this is what you get now. There's a whole like third party market for different straps and to make it fit. And
here's the appealing thing for me with the Quest 2, because like for mine right now, I have the headset and I have the touch controllers and I also have the sensors that need to be set up in my room. It looks like the Quest 2, you don't need that.
That is true. It does all of it right from the
yeah. It'd be less things that I'd have to be like cables spawning out of my desk. Rift S. Do they still sell Rift S's, or are those like done? Because they don't even sell that anymore. Yeah, they just sell the Quest 2. The Rift S was the big boy. I think it was even more expensive. And then of course, like Valve has one, right? What do they call it? What's the one that Valve sells?
Crap.
Index.
Because they bought HTCs or something.
Yeah, it looks very similar, and it's like $1,000. It's like $1,000, and you get the headset, sensors, controllers, the whole deal, the whole freaking deal. Man, wow, two whole lanyards. Yeah, I don't want to pay $1,000 for that. Anyway, okay, enough about that. I've talked a lot about things, but you want to talk about Spotify and HomePods.
Yeah, it's not okay. So, as you know, I've been using my got a pair of HomePods Mini. I use them as a stereo pair in my office. In fact, like I've barely touched a pair of headphones since I've gotten these things. I just love them. I play music through them all day. It's great.
Sure.
And I originally had been using Apple Music with them because it's I got a free 6-month subscription because I'm not sure I'll pay for Apple Music, but and it's got really nice like integration with the HomePods, right? So I can like obviously I'm at work. I'm a worky boy. I'm at my computer for 8 hours, so I want to use my Mac to play my music, right? So I can open up Apple Music on my Mac. It's got that little, I don't know what you call it, that weird like globe thing, like the circles and the triangle that basically means like AirPlay stuff.
Yeah.
You can click on that and you can send just the audio for Apple Music to your AirPods. Like it's great. And then all my system audio still plays through, my other speakers and they don't have to intertwine. And it's wonderful. And it sounds great. It's wonderful. Works well, except for the fact that Apple Music is it's fine. It's fine. It's not a great app. It's serviceable. It's great if you know exactly what you want to listen to. But hey, it's the holidays and Spotify just did their whole Spotify Wrapped thing. where it's like, hey, Spotify knows you and here's all this wonderful stats about stuff. So I've been back like, well, you know what? Spotify is just a better music player. It surfaces music better for me. I like the playlists. So I'm going to go back to I'm going to use Spotify some more. But I want to have the same I want to have the same experience with Spotify as I have with Apple Music, where I could launch the Spotify app, just send the audio for Spotify to my HomePods, don't touch the rest of my system audio. So like if I get a bleep or a bloop or a notification, that doesn't play through my HomePods, right? I want them separate. But Spotify doesn't support AirPlay 2 or any kind of that stuff on the Mac. So I'm left with this really weird setup where what I do is I start over on an iPad. So right to the right of my screen now, I have my my iPad Pro,
right,
in a little standy boy, and I have a Bluetooth Magic Trackpad hooked up to it because it's kind of in an awkward angle. It's kind of hard for me to reach out and touch. So I have this little Bluetooth trackpad just for my iPad. So then I'll go over to there and I'll pick what I want to play on Spotify, and then I'll AirPlay that to my HomePods Mini. And then after that's playing, I'll go back over to my Mac and launch the Spotify app.
And you can see it.
And I can
control it from there.
Exactly. I could see the control, like, oh, you're playing something on your iPad. And then I can use all my media keys as well on my Mac and stuff like that. And it works. But everything.
What you've built is like a disembodied boombox.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing, like, Spotify only supports AirPlay. Only supports AirPlay 1. It doesn't support
AirPlay Basic.
Yeah, AirPlay Basic. And one of the interesting things about AirPlay Basic is there's a 2-second buffer that's in there constantly.
Right.
Which means that if you're doing something with AirPlay and you hit play or pause,
2 seconds.
You're going to wait 2 seconds before that comes out of your AirPlay device.
Uh-huh.
The additional lag from controlling it from my Mac
How bad is it?
also adds a couple of seconds.
Oh, no.
So by the time I say play, pause, or skip that song, it's just long enough where my brain goes, well, that clearly didn't work. You need to do it again.
Oh, no.
Well, it did work. It's just floating in the air between my computer and the AirPod somewhere.
And it's probably taking a round trip in the internet too for good measure.
All
right.
And and on top of that, for some reason, about once every couple of minutes, the audio just kind of drops out for a split. Just a little bit. Just drops out, and then it's back.
Now, okay, I have two very important questions for you. Number one, you said you have a standy boy. Which one?
Oh, for my iPad. I bet you I bought it from the Washington Shipping Company. Let's go to my orders there and see if I can find it. Nope. That's my monitor stand. Here it is. I'm gonna drop a hot Amazon link into the notes.
I'm ready, buddy.
Okay, here it is. Boom. It is the Viozon iPad Pro stand. It's 360 rotatable aluminum alloy desktop mount stand compatible with 7 to 13 inch iPad Pro.
Whoa, look at this thing. I thought maybe it was just going to be like a little plastic boy, but you went all out here, buddy.
Oh yeah, no, it's hardcore. Yeah.
Oh, and it looks like it supports multiple sizes.
7 to 13 inches. Yeah.
iPad mini support.
it is
Oh,
it is a really nice name. Like it's got, so essentially it's
aluminum,
yeah,
aluminum,
it's got a claw, right? So it's got a claw.
aluminium.
The where the iPad kind of fits into it is soft, so I feel like I'm not scratching it. The it's spring loaded, so you can kind of just push down on it, and it rotates like 360 degrees. So you can have your iPad whatever direction you want it to be in. Horizontal, you can do it at a nice 45-degree angle. It's really nice. And
Oh,
and
wow.
it also rotates. The viewing angle rotates considerably. Like uh it rotates so far back that you could have the iPad actually be like parallel to your desk. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice. It's nice. It's $40, but it's well reviewed, and I think
Wow.
I think uh I'm sure this is not something I found. I'm sure this is something that someone recommended on a podcast I listened to.
Can we talk about the name of this company, Viazon? Like,
Viazon.
were they going for like a Verizon knockoff, do you think?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there are many, many similar products.
Yes.
Lamicol. Lamicol. Sounds like a medicine. No, this looks like a pretty dope stand.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh,
Okay,
it,
so
it doesn't like go up and down, like, so
right.
it's at a fixed height, but
But you can adjust the angle though. So you
you
could
can
tilt it
adjust the
down if
angle.
you were sitting down or if you were
Yep.
walking around.
Yep.
This would be perfect in my kitchen. Like this would
Yeah.
be the perfect TV for my kitchen. Like no joke. Wow. Okay, that's going on the old wish list. Okay, second important question. You can't be the first person that's had to suffer like this. So the question is Spotify 2 or I'm sorry, is Spotify looking at using AirPlay 2 to anybody's knowledge?
So there are uh so from what I can tell, yes, it's been confirmed they are working on it, but they've been working on it for like months.
Well, you know why, right? You know why it's not done.
Because they don't like Apple and they want to take their ball and go home.
No, they're
No.
working. They're working on disrupting another industry, Paul.
Oh, podcast. Yes.
No,
Oh, no.
no, the car thing.
Oh. Oh, yeah. And it's funny. You think car thing. Well, Drew is making a reference to something. No, that's the name of the product. It's
That's
called
the name
Car
of the
Thing.
that is the name of the product. Car thing.
Car Thing. You know what? Like, so the Car Thing is this little Bluetooth dingus that you can attach to like your car mount, and it gives you a nice little screen. Like, it still uses your phone for internet connectivity, right? So it's like you have to have your phone and this dingus. But you know what? Honestly, if I didn't have a car that had CarPlay,
Yeah, I'd fuck with this.
I'd probably get one of these things.
I'd probably fuck with this. It looks pretty cool.
Eh, yeah, like, I don't think it's going to be very popular. I don't think they're going to be
It's like $80.
yeah, yeah.
Now, what I didn't understand is this, right? So this thing, it clips somewhere in your car. It looks like it runs off a battery. So does it connect to your car via USB or does it connect to your car via Bluetooth? And if the latter,
It connects to your phone via Bluetooth.
okay, but then how do you play through your car's speakers then?
I believe you can. Oh, I watched a video of someone setting it up, and I do not remember.
Okay, all
I'll
right.
see if I can find the YouTube video, I'll put a link in the show.
Okay, so first things first, you need a Spotify premium account. Okay, step 1 complete. From there, setup is simple. If you can currently play music in your car with your phone, you'll be able to do it with Car Thing too. Aha. Okay, so connect Car Thing to power, connect phone to Car Thing. Oh, well, okay, wait a minute. Oh, so your phone is like the bridge between the Car Thing and your head unit. So the diagram they have here is your phone uses Bluetooth to talk to Car Thing, and it also uses Bluetooth to talk to your stereo. Or you can use the tried and true aux cable. So it's Bluetooth all the way down.
Yeah, yeah.
Where to put a Car Thing. So they basically have it clipping to people's vents or dash mount, vent mount. I don't know. This looks pretty cool to me. Actually, I was making a joke, but it does look pretty cool.
this is one of those situations where so I think it's still invite only, right? Like you can't just buy one. You have to go on a list. I had a chance to buy a car thing.
I did too.
I decided not to.
I did too.
I kind of regret it.
Yeah.
Just to play around with it or to sell it again or something. But I had a chance to buy one and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks pretty cool. You're right.
Yeah.
If you have an older car that doesn't have like a nice display or CarPlay, yeah, this is the way to get it, because 99% of the time I'm listening to Spotify in my car or podcast, right? And I guess I could listen to podcasts on Spotify, but that would be breaking the rules of the podcast. Don't do that, by the way.
No.
Don't do that. You're banned. You're banned if you do that. If you're listening to us on podcast, on Spotify, you're banned.
And and just to kind of put a nice little bow on the whole this whole topic, I kept seeing people sharing their Spotify rap thing and like, look, I'm the top 1% of this particular podcast in Spotify. And I just want to yell at them like, don't listen to your podcast on Spotify. No.
Yeah, be in the top 0%.
Yeah, if my Spotify Wrapped had nothing about podcasts in it, I was doing it right.
Yep.
Yep. Spotify still insists on recommending podcasts to me.
I hate that.
Over and over and over.
I hate
again.
that. I hate that.
Me too.
Did you? But for real though, how was your rap list?
It was good. It was good. I'm gonna share it eventually.
Mine was really good. I was really pleased with how mine turned out.
Yeah. Are you like in the top listening to anybody?
I didn't look that far, but
Okay.
let's look now, because now I'm curious. So your top songs Wrapped. How do I get to my Wrapped website?
You have to do it from the mobile app, I think.
Oh, garbage. Okay, hang on.
And you have to go through that whole thing. Like you can't just skip around. You have to go into each one over and over and over again. How do I get back to it?
Okay, my Wrapped is here. Okay, I'm on the app. Oh, it's playing.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. I gotta bring my mic over here. Okay. And action. Okay.
I have my phone on mute like a gentleman.
No. Oh wow. Okay, so it's playing Code Vein. Which one of these stupid things does it tell me where I'm in the top 1% of something?
You have to wait for it to do all of you have to just be patient, let it go through all of its things.
No. I can tap the screen and I can move forward.
Oh, can you? Where are you tapping?
Tapping on the screen.
Oh, tapping on the. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you're right. You can. Okay.
Okay, so which one of these? How much longer do I have to?
I don't know. Let's see.
I spent almost 15,000 minutes listening. That's more than 66% of other listeners in the United States.
I don't need the quiz.
You had one song on repeat. Yeah, rocks up. You played it a very reasonable 45 times, as is your rate.
Oh crap! I skipped. I went too far. Hold on.
Top songs. Okay, there's my top 5. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm about halfway through it. I haven't seen anything that makes me feel good about it.
Oh, I spent 14,209 minutes listening.
Beat you. Entering Wrapped multi-dimensional. What does that even mean? I understood the assignment. Memes. You listen to 76 different genres. Okay, my top genres: drum and bass. Okay. So hold on a second. Here's a little something about me. My top 5 genres. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, drum and bass.
Okay.
Number 2, Baroque.
What's Baroque?
It's mostly people chanting in organs.
Okay.
3,
that sounds awful.
Cyberpunk, which I didn't know was a genre of music. Number 4, dubstep. And number 5, big beat. I don't even know what 2 of those are.
I listened to 28 different genres this year. Here we go. 28 different genres. Number 1, it's not going to be, we go, number 1, death metal. Number 2, black metal. Not surprised. Number 3, industrial. I went too far. No, go back. I wanted to Spotify. You go too fast. Number 4 was doom metal, and then new metal as my number 5. So pretty much on brand for me. I don't need to take the quiz. But my top artist of the year was King Woman. I was in the top 0.5% of listeners.
Wow. Okay, so my top artist was Logic, and I was in the top 4%. Top 4%. You were in the top 0.5%.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow, dude.
Yep. And the funny thing is like, of my top 5 genres, I wouldn't put her in any of those. That just tells you how good her album this year was. It was absolutely phenomenal.
I don't even know who that is.
If King Woman, the album Celestial Blues, my album of the year. Go listen to it. It's really good.
Put that in the show notes.
All right, I will.
Wow, that was a neat Spotify section. Okay. One last thing to talk about, because I sort of flirted with talking about this last episode. Now that I have a big boy house, I have a big boy yard, and we're still in the process of like I've been out there like every weekend raking leaves and being a good neighbor and helping keep the neighborhood pretty. And we're still like chopping dead things away and hacking away at things. And in the very, very back of my yard, the one thing that isn't done is I have like these really tall grasses. Like I don't even know what the right name of it is. I don't understand gardening at all. But it's these giant decorative grasses. And they're nice because they're at the very edge of the property line, and they provide a good sense of privacy for people that are walking on the path behind my house or the road that's behind my house. But, as the weather's gotten colder, those grasses have turned brown. And I spoke to a landscaping expert that says, yeah, you're probably going to want to hack a good portion of those off. They'll grow back, so it's not a big deal, but you're going to want to cut that back and let new stuff grow. Just like we did with like 80% of the stuff in our yard. And I really don't know the best way to do this. So earlier today, I went to the hardware store and I bought a machete. Because
okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, it really freaking is. And what I did is I started on the side of my house and I just started like grabbing these plants by the neck. I don't know. Is the neck part of a plant? I don't know. And just like chopping with this machete. And I was like,
you made a horror movie for plants.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck yes, this is great. Like I feel like I'm in a badass. Now the grass on the side of my house is not nearly as dense as the grass the grass in my backyard. So when I took the machete to those boys, I could hear the grass laughing at me. So
sorry, that was funny.
Yeah, okay. Every once in a while, I get you. So I also a couple weeks ago bought a chainsaw to assist with some of the landscape pruning that we were doing. Now, listen, power tools are not a thing that. Oh, that is not the link I want. Hang on a second. How do I get to the one I want? Crap. I hate this website. Can I just go to the one I want? What the fuck?
No, you can't.
Okay.
It's okay.
I'll put a link in the show notes. I bought a Still. It is a chainsaw by Still, which I've plugged that company on this website before. It is a battery saw, which means it is completely cordless and doesn't run on dead dinosaurs. And it is really, really good. It is like a little baby chainsaw. Like it's not one of those big chainsaws that I'm going to cut down a tree with, but for dealing with, smaller tree limbs and dealing with, like really tall plants and things. And also maybe this grass, which I'm going to find out tomorrow, is really good at chopping through that. And when I bought it, I bought the one that came with the higher capacity battery because my weed whacker is also this brand Still.
Whacker.
And it came with the 120 milliion volt whatever battery, and this one comes with one that's more than that. And I was out there the other day with it, just chopping away at landscaping stuff, and it's kind of deceptively scary because, like, if you think about a chainsaw, like imagine a chainsaw, right?
I am.
Yeah. it's powered by gasoline, and you fire that boy up, and okay,
Yeah.
this is like, it's electric, right? So all of the drama and the spectacle isn't there.
Is it more?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that blade is moving. You will maim and or kill yourself with this tool, but the only noise you're going to hear is yourself. Like, they will not mask your screams if you fuck up and hurt yourself with this.
Now, just before we go any further, you still have all your fingers, right?
Still got all my fingers. Now,
okay, good.
Now, I really took now, a weed whacker is a pretty straightforward piece of equipment, right? The only thing I really had to read about in the manual for my weed whacker was how to fix the spool for the little plastic wire, because it got chopped off, and it didn't want to come out of the hole, and I had to like tease it out and all this other stuff. But this thing, like, we're talking, there's lubrication in here, and you need to make sure your chain is like the right tension, and like all sorts of stuff to make sure that at any given moment this thing isn't going to kill you, right? Because all it thinks about is your murder. Like, that's what this chainsaw does, is it lives to murder. It's going to murder plants, or it's going to murder you, and it cannot be satisfied. It cannot go back in its scabbard until it has tasted either your blood or plant blood, or else the ghosts visit you. The chainsaw ghosts come. But anyway, I had to buy like chainsaw oil, and you have to like make sure that that's a thing, because of course this thing is spinning, and if I've learned anything, is that at my advanced age, lubrication is very important. So I want my chainsaw to be well lubed. Yeah, it turns out. So I had to like learn how to do that, and like your chain has to be tensioned. And in the manual, it very ominously said the chain is very sharp, even if it isn't spinning. And I looked at it, and what do you think I did, Paul?
Yeah. Let me guess. Your brain went, that doesn't look sharp.
Yep.
And then you touched it.
And then I had a big cut on my hand. So
and then your brain was like, well, they told me right there.
Yeah. I fucked around, and then I found out. So, but it's that boy moves, man. Like, that battery and that blade makes that thing go. And listen, I'm not a cuck. Like, I don't wear protective goggles for a lot of things I should wear goggles for. I wear goggles with this thing, bud. Because it's throwing limbs everywhere. It's throwing shit everywhere, man. But I gotta tell you, it's pretty damn good. So if you're in the market for a electric chainsaw, battery operated lithium ion battery chainsaw, this thing fucks. Now, again, I think you could probably buy one that could chop down a tree, right?
Right.
You probably could. But these little gardening ones are probably fine. Like, I have some pine trees, and like I had pine trees at my last house, and honest to God, you know how I did you know how I trimmed the limbs off of those?
I do not use a saw.
Sawzall. No, Sawzall. So I ran a cord out from my house with a Sawzall with a wood blade and trimmed it.
Huh.
There's no doubt in my mind, like, those lower branches are probably about the thickness of my thumb. So I'm sure this thing could handle it just as well as I could handle my thumb. Like, it would go right through those boys like hot butter. And it went right through some of the other plants and things that I trimmed. So I'm anxious to get out there. I'm probably going to go out there tomorrow and see if I can go another round with this grass to try to get it trimmed down. But yeah, I just wanted to share. So if you're in the market for a chainsaw and you don't want the spectacle and maintenance of gas, this is the one for you. So I'm having fun with it. I'll report back about how I did. But, you know, maybe if I maim myself, I won't have to get on an airplane on Monday. But that's a whole nother story.
Oh.
All right, I've mostly been jibber jabbering for an hour. So let's wrap this up.
Yeah. As always, you can find us on the internet, doingtheirbest.com, and on the Twitters at doingbestpod. I'm on Twitter at Paul Baylor. And where can we find you, Drew?
Yeah, I'm over on Twitter at PITTFURG Pittsburgh. And just a reminder, I'll be out in Vegas this week at Dev Intersections, also the SQL well, they're calling it Azure SQL and AI Conference or something or other. I have to really learn the name of the conference I'm speaking at. But, I'll be out there talking about Databricks and Azure Data Factory. So
awesome. Well,
more information in the show notes. Thanks, buddy. And if you're there, come and say hi. But you're probably not because no one listens to us.
Yeah, people download the podcast. So yay.
Oh, they do?
Oh yeah.
What are we up to now?
Hold on. It's hard. It's hard. I don't pay enough for the good analytics. Hold on. I got to remember what I go through. Hold on. Libsyn. Hold on. Logging in. I'll give you the most, the statistic that wowed me the most.
Okay.
View all stats.
This is our podcast, 2021 Wrapped.
Our podcast, we have, for all of our episodes, over 10,503 unique downloads.
That's pretty damn good.
Yes.
That's pretty damn good. Now, what does that mean, though? Like, that means somebody, like, opened up their podcatcher and, like, actively downloaded it?
Yes. That meant someone requested the file and downloaded it to their podcatcher.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Are we good at this?
I mean, if you just do the back of the napkin and go, okay, we've divided that by 124 episodes, which that's not exactly right. That puts it at roughly 84 people.
84 people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's more than the 6 that I just assumed that we had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some episodes, if you go back and look at our downloads, it looks like a lot of people are about 5 to 10 episodes behind, but like we usually peak out at around 70, high 70s downloads per episode. So
okay, so we have a dedicated group of listeners.
Yes,
we thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, well, we'll wrap this up. Everybody have a good one.
Yeah, thanks everybody.